like I said, just turn the stuff on here.
Am I strapping this guy?
Bill, so I'll let you direct it where it goes there, Glenn. N1SNG in the group, W2SDR.
Yeah, okay, Frank. Yeah, the 101 sounding great this morning. Yeah, Perry is in the air. Bill, W4DDH, myself, and of course you just entering the room here. So, Woody Perry, W3MMR, N1SNG.
Yeah, N1SNG in the group. This is W3MMR. Good morning, Father. Sounding good on the 101 this morning. Good to hear you. Welcome to the pre-net, the group, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, Glenn, I'm getting some local noise this morning. It's you know how it is with you and I. It's just every so often it's something new popping up in the neighborhood, and that's kind of what I got going on. The bacon frying, but it's like a whooshing bacon frying. It's like you all the way up and down the band. But luckily, I have this loop on the ground antenna and can phase it with my 75-meter dipole, and with the diversity reception on the Anon, and boom, goes away. So it's working extremely well this morning. The diversity. The phasing in the Anon software this morning is working just great. So I was able to copy just about everything there, Bill. Good on the Collins. Yeah, I like that Collins. I think it. You put out a little more stout of a signal with the Collins up this way. Sounds very very good. It's very respectable, and I really do. I'm glad you're on the Collins this morning. I'm glad it's been working out for you. I know you've been running it for the past few weeks here, so 2 thumbs up on that, Bill. And nothing else new to report here, Dad. I was just telling Glenn and Bill that we're going to get some severe storms today. It's supposed to rain on and off, but the possibility for severe storms is pretty high here today. I guess maybe there's a front moving through, but it's going to be pretty nice, about 70 degrees. Well, as far as the temperature goes, it's going to be nice, but besides that, it's going to be pretty wet and miserable and very, very windy here today. I don't think the wind's quite started yet, but the anemometer is in the other room, so I can't see that here at the moment to see how windy it is. But from judging by looking out the window, it doesn't look too windy as of yet. And I can usually hear the wind in this old house. My house is well over 100 years old, and usually when that wind starts to whip it, you can hear it. So not hearing anything like that yet. So down to you, Bill. Was it going to Bill, or I'm losing track here? Yeah, I think it goes to Bill. WA4 DDH in the group, W3MMR.
SNG. All right, Bill. Yeah, a little bit of noise out there. Still only got about 80% of that, but you're doing much better. With that 32B3, and yeah, that's a good AM rig, that's for sure. And, Perry, good on the antennas. Yeah, I did a drive around the neighborhood here yesterday, just one loop, and so I get to one area. It's like a small intersection. There's only one way in and out of here, so it just kind of loops back and around. So I got on AM 530, and I hear this bump noise. It's like a thumping noise, And then finally, I go around the corner. I see the cable TV lines. This tree, the branches grew underneath the line, and the tree has grown probably maybe a couple of feet or so, and the branches are lifting up the lines. And I'm always right in that one area, and then finally the radio mutes. It just goes right out. But that's not what I'm getting down where I am. I just get that whining noise, a constant whining noise. I've done 3 shutdowns of the power here. The same old, beat it to death. But I just need more better detection type of equipment, I think, here. And looking for any alternatives on the antenna also. But good weather's here, so we can play around with that a little bit and see if we can make any changes in that department there. But just finished up my Hamlin HQ 101 receiver. Nice little receiver, but nothing like the R390A. There's just so much better design, and of course, over the years, things do change. But I got that back online. Had to replace a couple of switches in the front, the limiter switch and the manual AVC switch there, and so on. And so that's all back together. Had to order some tubes on eBay, which wasn't too bad. I didn't take too much of a beating there. But anyway, over to you, Frank. W2SDR N1 SNG.
Yeah, okay, fine. N1 SNG in the group, W2SDR. Well, start asking your neighbors about the noise. That's the only thing I can tell you. I guess we're supposed to get a rainy day today, so not going to be a day to go outside, but boy, I got my weeds all killed though, man. I like that. I'm going to have to get that lawnmower out probably next week and do some grass cutting. And I won the lottery, by the way. We have a local lottery. I won $800,000. April Fool. It's April Fool's Day, April 1st, right? I was all mixed up on the dates the other day. I thought that it's going to be a Phillies baseball game, everything else, and I was looking at the wrong team. I think there's a game today. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Yep, gonna get some rain and stuff. And I don't, my HT hasn't gone off yet on my weather alert, so and my weather radio. I don't pay too much attention to the alarmist weather forecasts. They want to keep you tuned in, watch all those pop-ups on the internet, while you're trying to look at the map and all that. My weather radio goes off. I pay attention to that, and usually I watch or look at the National Weather Service website and get my direction. They're a little less alarmist. Now, after I said that, I'll probably get my roof off my house today. So, there you go. Over to you, my boy. And I wonder what you got lined up for today. I got a few things I got to do today. I was thinking about what they were, but now I can't remember. But I'll remember what they are in a hurry. I got to do my water treatment blowdown. And today I start with the flea and tick medication for my pets for the season. W3MMR. How you liking that microphone there, Perry? I'm on the FT this morning. W2SDR.
Hey, I heard Steve in there, KD3HT. Get it right up to you, Steve. Breaking in there. Good morning. Make a quick one here. Yeah, it is April Fool's. I forgot about that. We were talking about that at the shop yesterday. We were talking about April Fool's and different April Fool's jokes, I guess. Or different April Fool's lies. You heard us say you won a lottery. My eyes perked up. You know, you better watch out. You might end up on that Investigation Discovery Channel. Son goes after father for lottery winnings. Just kidding, man. He's I'm never gonna be allowed over his house again, guys. Quickly, Glenn. There's other. I can send you the info on this loop on the ground. I mean, it's working gangbusters right now for what is going on here locally. And I'll send you the video lately or after, when it's uploaded, and you can see the difference with it on and when it off, and with the phasing on and with the phasing off. And the MFJ, I think it's a 1029. 1020 something, it does the same exact thing. You throw a little loop on the ground antenna out there in your yard, grass will end up covering it up, and you can phase it in with your 75 meter dipole or your whatever size it is, and probably phase out a lot of the noise that you're hearing. And because it's working gangbusters over here, man. It really, really is. So. That's just another thought there. And I did some cleaning up around the shack last night and organized my microphone case. I got a bunch of cases with microphones in them and kind of reorganized them and moved those. And then I had to fix the table in the other room where I have my Viking 2 and NC303, the FT101 and some other gear sitting on it. The table was starting to sag a little bit. It's one of those fold-out plastic tables with I've got like a tablecloth on it, and I had to cut a 2x4 and kind of prop it up under the center of it to get the table back flat again. So I was doing that last night at like 7:30. So that's the story on that. So over to you, Steve, and if I guess you're probably going to go ahead and start the net. It's just me, Bill, W84DDH, Glenn, M1SNG, and then obviously my father, W2SCR, in here at the moment. KD3HT and the Old Military Radio pre-net. This is W3MMR.
I heard some other guys in there, but nothing really strong enough here to pick out. So, I'll do a call in a minute or so. And some other guys. Yep, Frank, thanks for reminding me. I thought of that as I was walking the room here. And, just another April Fool's. Enough of that going on in the world. And I've heard everybody this morning. Bill, it's funny, with last week being as nasty as it was, I could barely hear Perry and Frank. From time to time I hear a little bit. And I could not hear Glenn. The loudest signal here, Bill was the loudest up until around 5:45. And then Jack, W8, DDA. I'm not awake yet, but Jack got on and he was very strong. But when I called at 6 o'clock, I don't know if anybody was there, anybody heard me, so I just said, I'm going back to bed. And that's what I did. I mean, it was definitely a solar event, and really haven't heard the band crap out like that in a long time. Sound. And the noise and the ground debris. Yeah, there was all kinds of antennas like that laying on the ground, and you got to try everything. You never know what's going to work. Isn't there another antenna with just a piece of coax? And I forget what you do at the end of it, but it's just a piece of coax laying on the ground, and I don't remember if it terminated at the end or it opened at the end. Alternative schemes. Yeah, Brown is still out and about, so he's not around. And so here we are again. So calling the old military radio net, calling the old military radio net, calling the old military radio net. This net meets weekly when conditions permit here on 3885 to discuss and badger and use old military equipment. Don't have to have military equipment, just an interest is all you need. And even that interest in radio is fine. Anyway, on net control, lucky for you, KD3HT here in northeastern PA, running an ART-13, and listening to you all on an AirSpy HF Plus receiver. Weather here today, 40 degrees and raining, and looks like it's going to continue to rain. I thought it was going to be drier today. Just have to switch up what I was going to do. And they're calling for thunderstorms here later. So it's pretty much the first one of the year that I can think of. But it's supposed to be up close to 60 degrees or over 60 degrees here today. So, and it drops a little bit tomorrow again. So there you go. The weather report sweep. So far I have WA4DDH, Glenn N1SNG, Frank W2SDR, Perry W3MMR. I don't know what the original order was, guys, sorry. But I know that's the 4 people that were here. Is there anyone else wishing to hear the old military radio net? Please call now, KD3HD.
W4HWT calling, Whiskey 4, Hotel Whiskey Tango, W4HWT, over.
Whiskey 1, Zulu, Foxtrot, Baker, over.
Okay, I think I missed one in there, maybe 2. I got W8DMX, W4HWT, W1JFB. I may have that wrong, Mike, but I'll fix that. I know who you are. Joe, WA2EJT. Anyone else?
3 Echo Mike Delta. Mike Delta.
Okay, got Victor Echo 3 Lima Yankee X-Ray and W3EMD. Anyone else? KD3HD.
N1SCW.
And Charlie and the Talking Parrot. Got you, Charlie. Good morning. And let's see. Yeah, that's that seems to be it. One more. Anyone else? KD3HD. Very nice to hear everybody this morning. Last week was really wiped out, so it's nice to hear you all and have decent band conditions this morning. I won't carry on. Just let it get going. Go through the whole length of people here again. So WA4DDH. Glenn N1SNG, Frank W2SDR, Perry W3MMR. I'm having a brain baby. W8H, John, Kevin, W8BMX, John, W4HWT, Mike, W1JFB, gotta fix that thing, Joe, WA2EJT, Buzz, W3EMD is back in the country, VE3, Lima Yankee X-Ray, and then Charlie WN1XZW, and then back up to the top. So let's start there. So go ahead, Bill, WA4DDH. Wish I heard you today like I did last week, 83HT.
WA4 DDH N1SNG again. Good morning, Bill. Your signal has come up just a bit, enough to get you into the 100% copy comment. Okay, I think I've got some problems with the ART-13, so I'm gonna sit aside here and look for any smoke or flames. So anyway, hopefully you copy me okay, Frank. I'll get it right over to you. W2SDR N1SNG.
Yeah, I kind of heard that, Glenn. Well, whether I copy or not, hopefully that's the least of your problems. I hope things hold together there for you. N1SNG and the old military radio net. This is W2SDR. Well, good morning, everybody. Boy, big group. I don't even know where to start, so I'll say good morning to everyone. I hope you don't have any severe weather where you happen to be. Of course, tornadoes are always a danger you see on the TV. Well, more so down south, I guess, with all those tornadoes. But we'll have to just see, batten down the hatches and do what you have to do, I guess. So I'll be listening here. I'm going to hang in here for a while. So it's great hearing everybody. And Bill, maybe we'll talk to you later on the Georgia Hub, All-Star Hub later on. I wonder if anyone else is involved with All-Star besides me and myself, Bill, and Perry. So, over to you, Perry, and a nice signal over this way. Boy, nice turnout this morning on the old military radio net. Ted would be proud. I wonder how those kittens are doing, Perry. I haven't heard too much about them, those kittens lately. W3MMR and the old military radio net this morning, W2SDR.
Yeah, W2SDR. In the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. Well, the kittens are doing just fine. The kittens are doing just fine. Sorry, I didn't mean unkey. Yeah, they're doing good. They're growing. Their eyes are open. They're starting to acknowledge me as a human being. Well, I'm sure they don't know that I'm a human being, but they know that I'm not a cat, and they know that I'm something. So for those that don't know, my cat had 5 kittens a few weeks ago, and I started out with just having one cat about a year ago, and then I took in another stray before the winter, because I felt bad because she was outside and it was very, very cold. And then she got pregnant because I was procrastinating on getting her fixed. And now I have 5 more little kittens in my kitchen at the moment. But luckily they're all going to have good homes. All of them are accounted for, when they're ready to, at that age, to go away from mom, and they will have good homes, so that's a good thing. But the kittens are doing just fine, Dad. I'll send you a picture. I was playing with them last night because they say you want to try to, get them used to humans. So whenever I get a chance or whenever I remember, I try to go in there and give them some attention, And so I was doing that last night, and you could tell some are a little bigger than others, but they're all progressing along, I believe, just fine. And yeah, happy April Fool's Day to everyone. So quick rundown here. Good morning to Bill. Good morning to Kevin. I'll be sending it to you. Haven't heard you in a while, Kevin. Hope all is well. John, down in North Carolina, good morning to you. W1ZFB. Mike, good morning to you. Joe, good morning. Buzz, good morning to the VE3 station. I'm not sure if I've worked you before, but I didn't get the whole call, so I would have had your name ready to go thanks to QRZ. But good morning to you, and good morning to Charlie. Charlie, I think I heard you last night. I don't know if I talked to you last night, but I think I heard you last night. But anyway, good to hear you, Charlie, this morning. So we'll keep it moving here, and I'll send it right out to Ohio to Kevin, and we'll stick in here for a few rounds. W8DMX in the old military radio net. And yes, Dad, Ted would be proud. The turnout has been quite great, and Steve has been doing a great job. W8DMX in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Okay, thank you, Steve. KD3HT, the old military radio net. This is John, W4HWT in North Carolina. Sorry, Steve, I didn't copy the W8DMX. I heard him when he first came on, but he was pretty weak and not able to really read anything because the QR Nancy here is not really too bad, but bad enough to clobber him, and very, very weak signal. Copy you, Steve, and everybody else so far very well, and Frank and Perry got real good signals, and you do too, Steve, and WA4DDH was fairly strong, but not quite as strong as he has been before. I think he used to run a Ranger, but now he's running a 32V3, but anyway, we're up and about here this morning. Hadn't been on for a while, and supposed to go to the Raleigh Ham Fest next Saturday morning, so I thought I'd better get my fanny in here this morning, check in, see what's been going on, and so forth. I run the BC610E model here, 614E speech amp and 390A receiver, and no rain here, but it's coming, and it's over in the mountains, and it looks like Tennessee's getting a little bit of a storm. I noticed this morning on the Weather Channel on TV the red boxes around, so I think they had a tornado warning going on when I first turned the TV on before we came down here to fire up this stuff. So anyway, we'll keep it moving, and good morning, Joe. I heard you in there. I hope we can still hear you when it comes around to you now. Got turned over to W1JFB or W1ZFB. I'm not sure which it is. You might help me out, Steve, if he doesn't come on too. W1J or ZFB, W2017, the old military radio net standing by for you. Over.
You got it right, John. Go ahead, Mike.
ZFB, kind of a tickler there in the first thing in the morning, but yep, Zulu Fox Baker. And I heard you loud and clear down there in North Carolina, and I'm hearing most everybody. I didn't copy the Ohio station at all, so just a bunch of noise in there. We are getting some static crashes, so I guess that storm's getting closer anyway. Running the old AR-213 and the BC-348 this morning. Everything seems to be going pretty well. Hope I'm tuned up right. Anyway, seems to be. Anyway, we'll keep it moving along here, and I'm going to listen to you for a few more rounds. So, Steve, I'm sorry, I didn't pick up who was supposed to get it. It's got a static crash in there, so who was supposed to get it next? W1ZFB, D, or B. I'm sorry, I'm twisting my own call sign around. W1ZFB and the old military radio net, over.
Okay, Mike, very good. Good signal up here. I'm not on a quick break. Perry, did you hear Kevin? Something's not right, because I would expect him to be stronger.
No, and he was right at my noise level, and it looked on the pan adapter, his carrier was bouncing back and forth, and the little bit of audio I did hear, something didn't sound quite right. Back to you.
Okay, Kevin, so just so you know, we're all kind of hearing the same thing, and you're usually pretty strong into everybody, so something's changed. Try to check that out. And over to you, Joe, WA2EJT, and then to Buzz, W3EMD, to Don, VE3LYX, and finally Charlie, N1XEW, and back to net control. So go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Steve, this is WA2EJT. Excellent conditions here today. I was on last week and had the same experience that you did, Steve. I could hear Jack WA7DIA and somebody else from down south that usually doesn't come in very well. Anyway, I heard one unfamiliar call. My name is Joe. Located in upstate New York, near Binghamton. Running my AR-213 with a BC-348. And a BC-946 on the back end of the 348 is a Q-fiber, and a BC-453 connected to the BC-348 condition. Also using an LM frequency meter to keep me on frequency. Anyway, good morning, everyone, and especially to you, John. Hello, and good coffee up here. And hope things are going well with you, and of course with everyone else. So far, I've heard 3 AR-213s on here, and maybe it's more than that. Well, 4, because I know Buzz is using an AR-213. So, over to you, W3EMD, and the old military, WA2EJT, over.
Fine, Joe, and good morning to the net. This is Whiskey 3 Echo Mike Delta. Buzz, Bravo Uniform Zanzibar, Buzz in Hudson Valley, 100 miles north of New York City. We had some very heavy rain overnight, so heavy it woke me up. I don't hear it now. It may be raining lightly. And the QRN Nancy is pretty bad this morning. And yes, stopping everybody except W8 DMX, who I think had some problems out there. This, as usual, is the AR-T13, powered by the DY17A dynamotor, and the BC-348 with a little SDR radio at the 915 kilohertz IF frequency, like Joe is doing with his stuff. A little more, much better selectivity for Kiwanis of Barndor, BC 348. So that's the story. Spring is about to come. Still don't have the daffodils blooming, but the buds are there. And maybe in another 3 or 4 days, the daffodils will be out. The crocuses are already blooming. VE3LYX, I believe it is. This is W3EMD. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, go ahead, Charlie. I didn't copy when Don was running. Unfortunately, Don, when you turned it over, that was the best. I got your call really quick, but the rest of it I didn't hear. Hopefully someone else heard what you're running today. Go ahead, Charlie. KD3HT.
KD3HT and 1XVW and the old military radio now. Yeah, I couldn't copy Don. The lightning static just got overwhelming right after he started his transmission. I did, however, hear Kevin. It was a little lighter than usual, but I copied 90% of Kevin. That's weird. Bill, on the other hand, I really couldn't hear. It's one of those mornings. Sometimes I hear Bill, sometimes I don't. Anyway, we're running a Ranger into a small FL2500 amplifier. Doing about a 100-watt carrier, I think. I don't know what it's doing outside. When I came down here a couple hours ago, it was wet, but it didn't look like it was raining. But we're supposed to get stormy weather today as well. Possible thunderstorms happening. Possible, of course. You know, this is the weather forecast. You can take everything they say with a grain of salt. Make it a little soul shaker. Anyway, you'd think I was the end of the list. Pretty sure I was. So back to that. KD3HT and 1XVW.
Yeah, very good, everybody. Like I said, that round, Don, you were nice and strong when you turned it over, but it took that long for the QSB to build up. I did hear some FMing, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're running, because I don't remember. I know you have the Royal Set 19, I know you have CCS, but maybe a Mopar rig you're running today. Maybe someone else had copied. And that's interesting that you heard Kevin okay, and maybe it's just band conditions. I don't know. It just seems weird that everyone else, well, could be everyone's band conditions, I guess. But yeah, everybody's doing fine. Glenn, I hope you. I don't know. I didn't hear anything, but that doesn't mean anything. Serious there, and Bill, you're in there as you typically are. And yep, John, nice and strong up here. Mike really strong with the ART-13. Same with you, Joe. Mike, are all good signal copying here. And yeah, was it the compasses, I guess, are out here. The purple flowers, very pretty. They've been out for a week or so. And I haven't seen anything else, but I've noticed more buds on the trees. So, I'm trying to get some wire antennas up before things start to bloom out. And that's what I've been playing outside with a bunch of metal antennas, beams and stuff. I have a pile of junk that I've been sorting through to figure out what I have, what I don't have, what I have to make to put all those back together. And in here, recreated a dial for the Metaphone ARP408 receiver. Fortunately, I had most of the old one, even though it was all paint flakes. I could get a good idea of how it was done and measure stuff and build that up on Vizio and print it out to scale, which was always nice. But the colors aren't perfect yet, so I still got to get it to a photographic printer and make a nice dial and then punch the holes in the right place and fix it in place again. So on to the next project with that, which is a veneer dial. It used some sort of mechanism where a shaft has a bottom round plate on it that engaged into some rubber wheels, and those rubber wheels would work as the veneer, just the dimension difference between the shaft and the width of the veneer wheels your turns ratio. So I'm trying to go with that, and then I'll do a tune-up on it, and then hopefully box it up. So it works. Probably needs a little bit more gain, but it's been interesting. So that's the story here in the Poconos. And let's see if there's anyone else. I know Brown's still traveling, so that's Brown's life. It's like the traveling salesman, or the traveling buyer is more the thing. And he finds Hamfest wherever he goes typically, and I don't know how he gets the stuff back. In this day and age, it's not easy and very expensive. Even to drive it, it's very expensive. So I don't know. And Perry, by the way, that's cute. And there's my sister, our cat, when she was a kitten, it happened during a tragedy here, family tragedy, and those kittens were just a fabulous way to kind of recover, get a handle on things and watch them run around and attack each other and get into trouble, and they're really cute. So hopefully you're enjoying every moment of that you can. That will stick with you very well. And I'm glad they have homes. They're excellent. So, let's see if there's anyone else to join the old military radio net, Kitten Net. Please call now, KD3HT.
WA7DIA.
Nice strong signal, Jack. WA7DIA. Anyone else, over?
WA1JUJ.
Got you, Kevin. Nice and clear as well. Anyone else? Okay, we'll start there. And good morning to you guys. WA7DIA. We'll turn it to Kevin, WA1JUJ. And then Kevin, turn it up to Bill, WA4EDH. We'll see the lens in there, okay, N1SNG. Frank, W2SDR. Perry, W3MMR. Kevin, we'll see if you're in there, W8DMX. John, W4HWT. Mike, W1ZFA. Got it right that time. Joe, WA2EJT. Buzz, W3EMD. And Don, DE3LYX. And then back. And if anybody copied what Don was running, Charlie's got on the end there. Sorry, Charlie. N1XVW in the back. If anybody copied what Don was running, I'd appreciate the relay on that. So, over to you, Jack. WA7DIA and the old military radio net. 3HD. Thank you, Steve. 33HT in the old military radio net, WA7DIA. Good morning. Jack in Oral Robbins, Georgia, running the ARC-38 this morning. Receiving on the R648, ARR-41. And conditions are better than last week, quite a bit. Signals are quite a bit stronger, but we have, I'm having some QRN down here. Still a little bit of QSB as the band is coming up, but most of the signals that I hear are fairly good. Conditions are a bit better. A fairly warm morning here, I guess about 55 degrees outside. Looks like it's a clear day. And Steve, I'm not sure I heard who will turn it over to QRN about the gentleman's call time. So, Steve, I'll turn it back to you if you can turn it to the next guy. 33HT for WA7DIA. Okay, go ahead, Kevin. WA1JUJ, 33HT.
33HT, WA1JUJ. Hey, thanks, Steve. Say good morning to everybody. David, here's Kevin, located in Western Massachusetts. And I am still on the I-7746 this morning, about 50 blocks. 38 degrees, and it's raining here in Western Mass. I guess there's a possibility of thunder showers this afternoon, so we'll have to see how that goes. Been off here for 3 weeks. I lost my 75-meter dipole back in that heavy wet snow on the 14th. We got 16 inches here. 14th. We lost power, I think, for 13 hours. A lot of trees and wires. WA4DDH from WA1JUJ.
It's pretty choppy in there today. Go ahead, Bill. WA4DDH, 83HT.
WA4DDH Okay, Bill. Yeah, your signal came way up. You're good S9 Plus here, and good to see that as you're signing there. This 32V3 sounded really nice this morning in its entirety, for sure. And good morning to Kevin, KW81JUJ, and I think Jack, you were on a power there, came to the rescue with the generator, and configured that to maintain all the creature comforts at home there. That's good to have, even though it sits around for many years. When the call for duty comes, hopefully those sets are ready to go. I usually start off mine twice a year, and then change the oil, and then it goes back into the garage with the cover on it. So, and actually I have two of them. If I need the 220 volt end of things, I can go to the other, the bigger 5,000 generator. Let me see what else. As far as the springtime is well underway here in the wildlife department. We've got turtles down in the back catch basin, and the peat frogs are going. Had a few coyotes in the yard the other night, and of course the robins have been here. Well, actually, some of them never left. They've been here year round. Daffodils, red-tailed hawks, ospreys. Man, it's just it's just spring is well underway. So I guess living down on the coast here, we're right in the landing path of a lot of things to come. So that's looking good. So I'm running the Johnson Thunderbolt, driving that with the Johnson Ranger. The ART-13 has just started making some kind of screeching noises. The scope was not really enjoying that, so I figured I'll let that cool down before anything else major may happen, and see what's going on with that. So it may be a bad tube or something. Don't know until I open the hood and start that whole process. So you fix one thing and another one craps out, but that's all right. That's why we have spare parts. And Steve, I did get your email there. That was quite somewhat of a artistic, creative the display you had there. Somewhat putting the hieroglyphics together and recreating that dial. That's quite a machine. I think the scroll dial on there, I think that material may be a little bit more has about a longer shelf life to it, I guess, put it that way. But in any case, I know when you're all done there, that's going to look really nice, and I don't know, it might be a keeper for you there, or you might pass it on one way or the other. But, we're looking forward to Nearfest. I think we've got about 3 or 4 weeks to go there. It's in Deerfield, New Hampshire. Looking forward to that. Hopefully, it does warm up a little bit. That would be nice. But we've had some Hamfest days down here, weather-wise, the past few weeks or so. So I've been getting a lot of work done out in the yard while the weather is still somewhat cool. But, we're going to get some rain here, I believe. And Charlie and I have about the same forecast. He's usually a little cooler. He's down in the valley. But anyway, we'll keep it rolling along here. Get it right over to Frank. W2SDR N1SNG.
N1SNG and the old military radio net, W2SDR. Okay, Glenn. I hope the situation with the ART-13 resolves itself without you having to take it apart and yet one more project. So I'm going to sign out here and enjoyed it this morning. 7-3 all the way around, and you guys have a good weekend. And good morning to you, Charlie. I didn't say good morning to you and the new folks that checked in on the second round. W3 MMR in the old military radio net. W2 SDR 7-3 everywhere. Oh, Perry.
Sorry about that. I'm here. W3 MMR in the old military radio, and I closed my eyes for a second. Tired. Sorry about that. Anyway, let me get a sip of coffee in me, and all right, turn on the afterburners. Well, good morning to all the new check-ins. Good morning to you, Buzz, W3EMD. Buzz, great QSO the other night here on 3885. It was really good to hear you, Buzz. It was definitely an interesting QSO, talking about what we do for a living and talking about cars. And, Dad, you were in there, and I think Charlie was in there, and a whole bunch of us. So it was a good group there on 3885 the other night. So great to hear you, Buzz. Don, unfortunately, really no copy from Canada this morning. Having a real rough time with you there this morning, Don, but good morning to you anyway. Good morning to Jack, WA7DIA. The ARC 38 sounded fantastic here this morning, Jack. I was looking at your QRZ page and checking out some info on the ARC 38. Looks like a really cool rig. And obviously, the rig that it was in, the DC-6, and some of those airplanes are really, really cool, man. So that's cool stuff. One of these days, when I have some room, I'll be really looking forward to getting some military gear here, but I just do not have the room at the moment. So hopefully sooner rather than later, that will change. Kevin, good morning to you, WA1JEJ. Always a pleasure to hear you this morning, Kevin. Great signal here in the southeast Pennsylvania this morning. And Glenn, I guess you're back on the Ranger, sounding good now. Was sounding good before, but I did hear, I guess, maybe the little issue where you were having did translate over the air, like my dad said. I heard a little bit of something. Something in the audio when you were modulating, so hopefully you get that squared away, and I know you'll get it fixed up there, and you'll have it back in working order in no time. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign and listen out for a while. Steve, thanks for running the net. Great job as always, man. Pleasure to hear you. And a pleasure to hear everyone here this morning. So hopefully everybody's got a good copy on me. Everybody stay safe, and you might be getting some severe storms later on today up here in the Northeast. And stay dry. And we'll look for you fellas. We'll look for all you guys next week. And have a great week. Back out to Kevin if you're still in there, Kevin. We'll see if maybe you got a thing squared away. If not, it goes to John. Down in North Carolina, W8DMX and the old military radio net. This is W3MMR. We'll be standing by.
KC2CKL checking in and out.
Okay, Paul, got it. Yep, I guess Kevin's cleared. Go ahead, John. W4HWT, KD3H.
Okay, Steve, KD3HT and the old military radio, man. This is John, W4HWT here in North Carolina. Well, after about W3EMD, most of the station except Jack, WA7DIA, not copying here at all. The QR Nancy has clobbered them all out. The other stations are just not reading them all. And copied Joe pretty good, and W3EMD, but that was it. So, conditions kind of rough here with the QR Nancy over in the storm in Tennessee. So, and they're starting to come into the mountains of North Carolina, the rain as far as the radar is concerned. So, I guess the condition going to get a little bit noisier here as the morning goes on. but it seems like the Northeast stations that are on so far up at the first part of the list are coming in through pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and sign on this one also and listen on the rest of this round. But condition not too good here. It's quite noisy here. So anyway, Steve, appreciate you calling the net, and we'll look forward to keep running into you maybe week after next. There, we're up to like I say, the Raleigh Ham Fest coming up next Saturday. So with that, we'll turn it on over to W1 ZFB, WQHT decided, but listening for a little while. Over.
Okay, thanks, John. W1 ZFB, we got a great signal coming in here to Fredericksburg, Virginia, so good audio. And I'm hearing most everybody. Got a few static crashes in there. Not hearing anything from Ohio there. I believe it's the Ohio station. And everybody sounds good. Let's see, somebody had problems with the ART-13. I hope they get that squared away. Kind of curious just to keep the problem on the log or something, so I know if I run into the same thing, I can get it squared away. But everybody sounds good on their military equipment. And I thought about going down to the Raleigh Ham Fest, but I don't think I'm going to make it this year. That's where this ART-13 came from. Back in January, it felt like they had Jimmy from down there. So, but other than that, I'm going to stick around for one more round. Let's see. I don't remember who's supposed to get it, but this is W1 ZFB and the old military radio net.
Well, go ahead, Joe. WA2 JTC 3H2.
This is W1 JT. Very good condition field. But once they played well, really quite readable here. It seems work that was done on the ready post. Progress on that project. I've been working on an actual military project. I have a BC-453 with about and another BC-453 that especially IF alignment are. Good to hear you, John, and I'll be interested in your results of the Ham Fest next week. Always the only thing better than actually going to Ham Fest is getting Ham Fest reports from others that have attended. Okay, quarter of 6, and the band is holding up nicely. Well, let me just move along here. I give you all these fine signals this morning. W3EMD is the old military net, WA2 EJT. Fine, Joe, WA2 EJT in the net, W3EMD. Yeah, hearing most everybody, but the QRN Nancy is really beginning to come up here. Glenn, you mentioned Nearfest, and I was curious, any others are planning to go? I'm still thinking about it. Haven't decided one way or the other. This DC-348 receiver that I'm using came from Nearfest 2 years ago, I guess, and I may want to go back up there. It was great fun to see people for the first time. Had some interesting conversations with Steve at that time. Let's see. VE3LYX. I think, Don, did you say you were using a tank radio? TANK, a tank radio? I think that's what you said. Your signal's
pretty good in here, but again, the QRN is what's chopping up everybody as that storm comes up the coast here, I guess. So let's see. That's not the only note I heard. Had W4HWT here in New Quanzell up here, also in north of New York City. Let's see. Over to you, Don, and again.